Hey everybody, this is just an update. Looking kind of haggard and tired right now, but last couple days have been hellacious. I'll post a few second video, like 30 seconds, I think, because I had to take care of some business when I got home from work last night because my youngest, Lala, chewed into the hotel bed. And I don't have hotel bed money. And I understand that she's a puppy, and people keep telling me to, uh, give her away or something. And, she's a part of the family. She's a rescue. And when I got her belly, she wasn't a year yet. She was about 7 months. And she hadn't been outside except for when she escaped as a puppy. They made her go outside on the back porch in the apartment, and they'd leave her out there in the rain or whatever, and she'd be barking, all loud and stuff. And I lived in the apartments too, of course. And finally, I remember telling myself that when she would be, it's like, because I knew that that family had already secretly dropped off their last dog that they kept out on the back porch, didn't walk him. Found out because when they dropped him off, I happened to be taking my babies, my two at the time, Prosperity and Hazelnut, to the park and to run around and play. That was our ritual, They got out 3 times a day, sometimes 4. And because at that time I was doing a home-based business. So anyway, I knew the condition that they left that poor baby, and they just let it walk around as if they didn't give a shit. And something, and maybe it has nothing to do with race, but it's something about people, especially black people who get animals. In my environment, I'm going off of the environment that I was in, because Hazelnut's a rescue. Prosperity is a rescue. Saw Prosperity, when I got her, she was the first one that I got. They threw her out of the back of their Durango or Blazer Expedition, whatever you want to call it. Now, she was only 5 months. And I don't know, there was some weird sexual bestiality shit that, I could sense from that. So, whatever. So everyone in this family, except for my cat, her mom, I took in when I first moved to California, to Sacramento, and she had kittens, and I watched her come into this world. So, and her name's Egypt. So it's hard when, it's irritating when people say, well, it's either you or the animals. And I'm like, well, I don't see it that way, I do know that she can't be, chewing up hotel property. I do know that. But, don't get animals if you think they're cute because you're high and you're drunk. And, you think, oh, let me get this animal. And then you treat it like shit, Hazel went through severe abuse before I got her from a nutbag. Who was part of the reason why I'm homeless now and living out of a hotel. And she abused her and threw her around, and both Hazel and Lala came from those types of homes. And they would poop on the carpet, or whatever. Or even on the back porch, I would let them go on the back porch when I was sick or whatever, because I have depersonalization, derealization disorder, which is supposed to be an offshoot of my complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll go more into that later. And so they would eat their poop. They would poo and then start eating it. And I'm not kidding. This is what they would do. And I was just like, oh my God, why are you doing that? And somebody said it was like an act of submission or something like that, for these 2 beautiful girls to be doing that in that home. They're entrusting us. So no, I'm not giving any of my daughters away. All 4 of them are staying with me. whether we got to walk the streets. I do have a tent in storage. That was the only thing that was able to salvage. If that's what I got to do, that's what I got to do. If I got to sleep out of the storage, once my money runs out here, then that's what I'm going to do. And, if it sounds weird to you, that's on you. But I got a lot of that stuff from other people. But anyway, so that was the video I was going to post of me walking, getting dropped off by the lift, and then, running up to the stairs to get into the hotel room so that she didn't continue to chew a deeper hole. Right now, there's only 2, small holes like that. So, I'm just tired. But, and I think, after yesterday, so my update is that, so I had this coworker who had suggested, she's not in the same situation, but, she's living with family. Her boyfriend fiance was actually homeless. And, family doesn't like him, so he can't live with her in the family. And she said that she was living out of the living room. So I'm like, well, at least you're with family. That's my perspective, but whatever. So anyway, she had been saying, oh, well, let's get an apartment together. So, I told her, I said, I found this duplex, and it has a small backyard. It looks perfect from the picture. Let's fill this out. Both of us together, we can afford, you're supposed to make 3 times, so we can afford that and whatever. So she kept procrastinating. And, since she'd say, oh, well, I'll do it. I'll get some money this weekend and I'll go ahead and, fill it out and pay the $40. Well, I had already done it because, she was like, I said, well, do you want me to do it or not? You know what I mean? Because if you don't have to, I'm not forcing you. You're the one that suggested that we get a place together. And we got along and everything. We had the same kind of views and whatnot. But what ended up happening is I ended up paying and she ended up, just forgetting about it. And I was like, okay, I'll let that go. That's $40 that I wasted because I couldn't have gotten the apartment without, having a roommate because it was a 2-bedroom. So, and it was actually pretty cheap, $850 for a duplex and a backyard, and, come on, and whatever. So she didn't want to do it. But, and then she continued to talk about, oh, well, let's get this place together. And, I'll do this. And my dad does, real estate, and he, has a few places that he said, and he said, I guess that he would allow her to have one of his places that he was getting ready to kick some people out of. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever. She already flaked on the other thing, and we'll just see what happens with that. So I'm sick because I'm thinking, oh gosh, it has a nice backyard, and that's what I need for the babes, backyard and a fence, and not that I'm going to keep them out there, but just to play, because I don't want to. I'm busy, I don't want to keep walking them 4 times a day, or whatever. It's just much easier as if you're a pity parent or a doggy fur baby parent, that it's easier than walking these beasts on the leash, where they want to go to and fro and jerking you along. It's easy just to let them get their, energy out and, freely without having to always have a leash. So anyway, long story short, I go to work yesterday because I wanted to make money and have something to live off of. And oh Lala here, playing with Prosperity now. Black one, that's Prosperity's the white and gray staffy. And Hazel's somewhere in the back, but old Lala decided to go ahead and get into the bed. And anyway, so what she tells me is that she got her money, and I'm so, why, like, okay, why are you bragging about that you got your money? Because after everything's said and done. But anyway, she told me, okay, I got this money from my tax returns from a year ago that I was able to still file, and so that's how she got it. And I'm like, cool beans, awesome, and for you. And then she says, oh, well, Michael and I are going to start looking for a place. I'm like, okay. Or she didn't say Michael, she said, well, I'm going to start looking for a 2-bedroom, and if you want, you can come with us. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Before all that, you were calling your fiance a no good something something, and you know he wasn't going to live with us if he didn't have a job and all that stuff. So, and I guess he got a job. Kudos for him. Um, but anyway, it was just really conflicting. It's like, okay, so she tells me this stuff, and I'm already stressed out because I'm, you know, hoping that the babes don't do damage, and I'm at work, and I got to work there, and I'm working with a lady who I had lived with, who while I was living with her, because I wouldn't do what she wanted me to do or play the role, like I said, that she wanted me to play, she was slandering me to everybody. So, you know, it's been very uncomfortable. So I'm dealing with that, and I go back to work after having, you know, at least 3 days off, and you know my body's feeling better. I'm walking more. I mean, I think I got like 1,400 steps in, you know, which is almost 6 miles, you know, like I used to. And I'm feeling good about myself, you know. I'm slimming down. My friend told me, she goes, gosh, you're slimming down and you're not even trying. I'm like, well, good, you know. So I mean, you know, it's like I feel like every time I start to feel good about myself or something promising comes up, it gets just vacuumed up, like something, some spirit, some entity just comes and sucks it up away from me, and I can never make any progress. So anyway, this girl was like, okay, well, we'll get, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm not really trusting her now. So it irritated me just how she said it. Like suddenly it was, well, you can, you know, I'm Johnny come lately, or I can do you a favor now. You know what I mean? And I don't know how to take that. You know, any feedback would be good. I don't know how to take that kind of, you know, well, after all of it, well, let's do this and let's do that. So I took it as like she's kind of a control freak. Like I was coming up with the places that I wanted to live. She didn't even look at the duplex, you know. So I was coming up with the places that you know that were good, suitable for not just me but my babes and her son, you know, and whatnot. And so I'm like, I don't want to live in that situation. I just got done with living with a person, two people who were racist on top of being narcissistic parasites. So I'm not going to go into that. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to go into that. And you know, I got 21 days here. You know, I'd probably, you know, say, okay, well, can I stay a day there? You know, stay the night there or whatever, and then come back the next day to the hotel. That's probably what I'll do. You know. So I didn't. I just told her, I was like, well, you know, if you find a place and it's suitable for me and my kids, fine. You know, but I'm not going to sit here and argue about it with you at work, because I was feeling very emotional yesterday. I think I had just come to the point where I was just so tired, and she was, you know, the tip of the iceberg. You know, the straw that broke the camel's back, rather. And I was just like, I'm done. I am so freaking done. I can't be this strong anymore. You know, I really can't. I was starting to cry, and I couldn't even see straight. I was so, and then when I saw, you know, the holes in the mattress, and I'm just like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I was livid, and all the babes just kind of huddled down because they're like, oh shit. You know, and before we were just feeling so good because we were out of that hostile, racist environment. And, you know, my babe Prosperity was being herself. And I mean, they were even pooing better. You know how sometimes when you get stressed and the poo back up because everything's just constricted, you know what I mean? So, you know, it happens. And so I was just like, I can't believe this, you know, and just with the tension and the animosity, you know, and I've been reflecting since last night, because last night I just kind of sat in this chair by the window and you know, just was like, I can't do anymore. You know, I don't know what God has in store for me. You know, I started thinking all the way back, you know, like to my childhood. What caused this? Well, how can I eradicate it? Do I need some Roundup? You know what I mean? What do I have to do? Do I have to get it surgically removed so that I can do something differently? You know, I mean, because it just seems like, you know, and I thought to myself too, with the situation with my coworker, it was like the two, from the lady that I was living with, who told me about the job, and then this twit. I'm just like, you know, I build people up without even trying, but it's like they don't want to reciprocate in any way. You know, they don't want to. And I was reflecting on how that's been like all of my life, you know? And here I am at my bottomest. I mean, I've been I've been slept on a park bench when I was younger, like 18, 19. You know what I mean? Not 40. So this is just. I mean, I'm not sleeping on a park bench, which is great. But there's nothing like having your own place and walking in and saying, "Honey, I'm home," to whatever, whomever, whether it be your babe, your fur babies, or your baby girl, or your baby boy. Um, and so I was really just getting frustrated, and I had just had enough. I just really had enough. I've had enough. I don't know. I just got turned down for the Red Lobster job. I applied for two different positions for dishwasher and busser. I don't know how you don't qualify to wash dishes or pick up dishes to be washed, but so, anyways, and then the duplex emails me today to kind of, I felt like it was rubbing salt in the wound since that was one of the first place that I was telling my coworker, well, let's check it out, go ahead and check it out. But of course, it's a control thing. Now that she has money, she wants to, do everything her way, and I'm just not into that. I'm not going to get into that. You're not going to control me like you control your fiance. But they called me and they said, well, we didn't get this information and that information, and you haven't worked, lived at your past place for three years or more. And I was like, wait a minute, so I emailed them back because it didn't even make sense. It was like a big excuse. It's just you don't give reasons for, if somebody else got the place, then somebody else got the place. Don't sit there and lie to me and say that I didn't spend literally 2 hours on my ass, in front of my desktop, on the floor, filling and uploading files and proof of income, proof of residency, and all this other stuff. If I was, so I thought that I told them, I said, well, there's had to have been something with your online application, because I uploaded everything. And I said, you didn't call me to tell me that it was incomplete, which you should have done a month ago now, over a month ago, since I applied. So, it was just, I just want to be comfortable. I'm tired. So what's going on is, if I can't find a place for Lala to be, do I, to keep this job? That's the only thing that I have to be able to keep, living in the apartment. So what do I do? I don't, like I said, I am not giving my baby away. I don't want to sell her. She's not a slave. Plus she's a pity. If I take her to SPCA, I mean, the place that also stole money from me when I was trying to get them certified with good citizen training as PITs, even though they're ESA certified, I wanted to get that extra, so show that they're good citizens. But Lala's not being a good citizen, so right now. But yeah, so it's just I don't know what to do, because my thing is I can't leave her alone I think she cuts off at about 5 or 6 hours, and then she's like, because they started digging in, 2 hours before 2.5 hours before I got off work, because one of the ladies who was checking on them for me texted me and said, oh, it looks like they tore some toilet paper up and stuff like that, because they're getting anxious because I'm not home. So, and I understand that, like I said, she's been through so much. She has abandonment issues. She was abused. I can dig it. I don't want to punish her for that. So I'm going to see if the lady can actually take her into her hotel room and keep her, because I'm buying this lady cigarettes every time, a pack of cigarettes a day. Every time she watches them, I mean, that's 20 cigarettes. Don't know, Galfling. Hopefully you don't spend it all or smoke it all. But, I'll ask her. Hush, you guys. Hush it up. It's out. Shh. I'm not going to tell you again to hush it up. Get off me. There's Prosperity. Look at her. What? Little rugrat. Say hi to everybody. Anyway, what? Give me a kissy, baby. Okay. Yes, you're my protector, huh? You're my protector, and you're wanting to go outside, but you're not going to go outside right now. All right. All right, here we go. Hush it up. Get up on the bed now. Bed or chair? No. Okay, so let me keep this short. Shut it up. Hush it up. Hush it up, both of you. No. They way outside, a mile away, and you just hear somebody barking and thinking that you can do. There's Prosperity. There she is. Hush it up. Hush it up. Hi, Hazel. Okay, get off me so I can finish this video. Come on. Okay, so anyway, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to see if the lady that I'm, buying cigarettes for. Shut up! Prosperity. Nobody was even barking. Go. Go. You just want to be barking at something. Anyway, so I'm going to see if she can watch Lala. But that's a lot of days because I'm working 5 days a week, to get the hours. So I don't know. The other thing is put the beds up against the wall and put the little nightstand tables up against it. So, and go from there. But I don't know what to do. So I got to work tomorrow. So I got to figure out something because, I need a paycheck coming in. I got paid today and, so that means that I got another week that I can pay for. This Saturday I got to pay for another week. So, I have enough for 3 weeks, and I haven't really dipped into my savings. I've been working off of these paychecks, which is fabulous. But I honestly don't know what to do. I feel very disappointed. I was more upset last time. I'm always trying to keep my composure. I guess it's part of being a Virgo. Hazel. There's Hazel sitting up there. That's Hazelnut. But it's harder, and it's harder. And also, too, one thing I didn't say, and so I guess it's the thing is, trying to keep my composure and not just freak out because I never wanted to do a video blog. I wanted you guys just to enjoy the journey, and I don't want to be sitting here, crying and moping or whatever. You know what I mean? I can't say that I'm going to be positive all the time because right now I'm just Hail Marying it. I'm grateful. And it seems like, the Most High, my ancestors, may have something, going on. But it's not what I want quick enough, so I'm getting impatient. But, it was really hard, my sister in the UK, she was like, she just sent me this message because I was feeling really down. And, I don't want to say, I was feeling very depressed. Like severely depressed. And I was just like, I'm done. I don't know what else, because there's nothing coming to my mind. I just got turned down for, a Red Lobster job. I got turned down for, having a roof over my head because they claim I didn't, It's just one disappointment after another, after another, after another. And, so I lost it, and I was kind of crying, just filled up with emotion. And my sister texts me, and she says, I just wanted you to know that you are loved. And, that couldn't have come in a better time. And, she said, my psychic sister, she said that she could just feel it. And I was like, wow, and because I don't like showing people my vulnerabilities, because here it's seen as a weakness. I don't think it's a weakness. I think it's too much energy in a vessel that needs to be expelled or processed. And, I haven't really had the time to do that until now, being this is my own space. It's not, I'm not living with anybody, so I can, do my mantras. I can do my spiritual meditations in the morning and throughout the day like I used to keep that energy. That's the only thing that's giving me strength is prayer. And I've had to ask, God and my angels to intervene because I don't know. And to be honest with you, the next person that says some stupid shit to me, I may just haul off and who knows, I was actually really close to snatching my coworker up and her 22-year-old ass, but I said, nope, let me try and make this company some money so I can get a paycheck. But it's tough out here, y'all, I just got another Obama phone, an upgrade, because stuff is going out. for me. So, I don't know. I mean, that was like literally the highlight of my day besides getting some nasty Domino's pizza. Big up Domino's. But, just trying to treat myself. But I don't know. So anyway, your prayers and well wishes are appreciated. Not a lot of people on this page right now, and I'm not really good at promoting, but please like and share, and just to let them know, I think too, the reason why I started this too is because really, to be honest with you guys, is I was scared that that I would snap, like not on anybody, but just snap, just done, just completely out of here. But I keep putting one foot in front of the other, and I really do think if I didn't have my fur babies that I'd be done. I'd be done, because this is too much stress for one person to deal with. And so the reason why I've been doing things on my own for a long time. Can't say that it's always worked, but at this point in stage in my life, I do need help. But when people figure out that you need them, then they try and it becomes a control thing. It's a wrestling match, and I'm not into wrestling, because I just want to be in a partnership with somebody. If that's the case, if that's what the universe has for me, God has for me, then okay, but it's not going to work with people like my coworker who will tell me to go ahead and go through with the application, but not go through it for herself. Can't do it. Can't do it anymore. So I don't know. So I'm gonna hopefully I'll find a solution so I can go to work and make some money. If not, then I've just lost another job. I've just lost a job that I already had, and I was trying to get a more suitable job because I don't like sitting because it's affecting my weight, my heart, my circulation, and absorbing other people's emotional. Absorbing other people's, frustrations and anger about what I should be, if for the people or organizations that I'm calling on behalf, I kind of, am the garbage can for their, what is that called? For their displeasure, and it's like, hey, I'm just getting paid, because I have to remind them sometimes too, yeah, I didn't call you, or I have nothing to do with that, but I'm sure that they hear you now, because everything is being recorded, so I'm sure they'll go over that with the client, but whatever. So prayers are very, very, very much welcomed. All your positivity is very much appreciated. So anyway, let me get up off here. There was more that I wanted to say until the babe started. Anyway, so I think the next video that I do, and I do these live because I know nobody's watching them, but I just do the live ones because it's just easier and quicker instead of recording on my phone and then trying to upload it just, one shot. So anyway, again, thank you for your likes and shares, and thank you for any donations that you feel in your heart to give. And have a great and blessed day. Bye-bye.